I'm actually thinking this lawsuit was all wrong. I'm actually thinking this should have been a loss. Be honest with you, this is straight out fraud.
What would you say to Adam Aron?
I would just say you're a disgrace. You should resign immediately, and you need to apologize for your actions, or at least come clean what went on and tell people the truth, because what he's done and what he's done on the record is toxic. He took advantage of one class of investors to help a very sophisticated class of investors who were his friends. Everything he touches fails because he knew flat out it wasn't a reward. He knew flat out it wasn't a dividend. He knew it was a rights offering to dilute the living out of people no matter what, and he told them the other way around.
Retail shareholders were begging for a dividend, which is wrong because they actually gave them a dividend, all right, but it wasn't a real dividend. It was actually just dilution.
Adam Aron is not some sort of a hero. Adam Aron is a thief.
Allegheny will only be made whole after they rob it from us.
And I'm going to tell you guys something. Anybody who still thinks that Adam Aron has the best interests of retail investors at heart, either they're not paying attention or their critical thinking skills have been warped, but maybe they are mentally compromised. All the evidence in these court filings point to the fact that Adam Aron conspired with Citigroup to dilute our shares. I mean, and they even call it Operation Popcorn, like it was some CIA type clandestine operation. But in a sense it was a clandestine operation against retail investors. It was a clandestine operation to steal our company, to steal our company from out under, to dilute our shares. So all you yes voters, all you people that attack me every day and say that Adam Aron is on your side, please go look at the Popcorn Project documents. And after you read those documents, I want you to tell me that you still believe Adam Aron is on your side. And if after you read these documents, after you've seen what Adam Aron did with Citigroup to create those ape shares, if you still believe that, you might have some issues.
This is collusion. Project Popcorn, aka Ape, a checkmate idea to cheat and deceive shareholders from Citigroup, made famous by our very own Silverback CEO Adam Aron. And I could smell the stench of Adam Aron's BS. Section 2. Quote unquote, in the summer of 2021, AMC was running out of common stock to use to raise equity capital and attempted to authorize additional common stock. Unable to authorize more, the company made zero attempt to ask for more AMC shares to sell. No attempt was made at all to say unable is laughable. Now this is where it gets interesting, right? Because Citigroup had this great idea to begin Project Popcorn in the form of a preferred equity that could convert into common stock. He pulled the vote. Why would he pull the vote? Probably because of Project
Popcorn, a scheme so greasy even your fingers would slip trying to hold the truth. It's a tale of deception, dilution, and popcorn so stale it could break your teeth. Allegedly orchestrated by AMC's very own CEO and a shadowy crew of insider traders and some social media influencers who were cashing out faster than an ATM on payday.
So what did Adam Aron decide to do? On August 4th, he decided to do his tweet storm and try to get everyone to understand what it was. Today we pounce. And you guys remember all of this because it's so painful.
Problem here is very, very clear. Management has given short sellers the green light to dump on this stock as much as possible. The sad thing is that AMC is signaling right now that it is open season to short the hell out of their stock, and has in effect armed short sellers again and again. And this is the most obvious attempt at that. And you can just tell by looking at how the stock is trading. Then shareholders didn't want dilution, so AMC figured out a workaround with Ape. Ape got massively diluted, then Ape was trading too low. So guess what happens? Well, we need to recombine Ape to AMC. Now they're recombining, AMC's dropping like a rock, and what are they gonna do next? More dilution with AMC common stock.
The company's banker, Citigroup, began work on Project Popcorn, a prospective issuance of an alternative form of equity that could convert into common stock. Now we know that it was Citigroup that came up with this idea, and they went ahead and came up with the idea. AMC and Citigroup considers plans for potential rights offering that would allow investors to buy common stock equivalent that could eventually convert into common stock. By February of 2022, Citigroup proposed that AMC could call that APE, right? AMC Preferred Equity Units. Van Zandt, Derek Van Zandt, he is the senior director, manager for Citigroup for all of North America. He's been there for 23 years. Yes, these are the guys, the masterminds. The unfortunate part is they took the shareholder equity from you and they only raised maybe double that amount. It wasn't even worth it. It wasn't even worth it for what they did. And nobody wants to tell them that. And that's the unfortunate part. But hey, it wasn't meant to be worth it because Antura and Citigroup partnered up on this one. They took the 10 million preferred shares, converted them, and what was it? It was now 1 billion preferred equity units, APEs, and they diluted that whole amount as well. When the APE units came out and he said, "This is what I'm doing for you. This is my checkmate. This is my pounce," that was a lie. But we have to vote yes, or else we're going to dilute even more. Well, we have to vote yes, or else this company's going to fail. Guys, the company has failed.
After the introduction at APE, I felt that the management at AMC was just too focused on dilution and needlessly and recklessly destroying shareholder value. And honestly, I was pretty pissed off that they named this APE in the first place because it encourages a lot of the loyal shareholders of AMC that basically bailed out the company. Not basically, but 100% bailed out the company, and it basically encouraged them to hold it, while at the same time trying to have them ignore that this was the dilutive vehicle that management was just gonna dump on massively.
I view it as the company was already not doing well. The Rona period hit, and that caused it to really not do well because there was no revenue coming in. Then a group of internet retail traders and investors saved the company. We saved it. They didn't save it. If anyone on God's green earth tells you that the leadership team saved AMC, understand that they are woefully uninformed.
And he went and had 12 movie premieres or 16 movie premieres in 16 various cities to tell people how great this was, knowing full well that was a lie.
Because it was apes. It was his following. It was, they were just a legion of people that were going to follow this man no matter where he went because they didn't know any better. And they knew they had that in the bag.
He knew exactly what he was doing. He knew he was going to destroy people's lives and he didn't care. He knew, acted with malice, acted with forethought, and knew exactly what the outcome was going to be.
I'm tired of acting as if Adam Aaron's a good guy. There's no proof to that whatsoever. He has milked this community while lining his own pockets with millions and millions and millions of dollars. And if you bring that up, apparently that means you work for Citadel, which it's such bull. It's straight up bull.
Well, one, all the insiders were selling off their shares, and they have since to buy not one share, and they won't buy a share. And why? Because they had this information. This is non-public information, and they traded off of it. So I want to know when the SEC is going to look into insider trading at this point. Guys, they knew that everyone was going to sell off. It was going to dilute the value. They already knew. That's why. Why do you think, and Sean Goodman's the one who actually said this, Sean Goodman is the one who actually sold off every single share he owns of APE, of AMC, you name it, he sells because they all knew what was going to happen here. Before they announced APE, before they announced that they were going to do an additional preferred equity unit, you know what they did? They told all the insiders, hey guys, we're about to do this, so you know what we're going to do? We're going to allow all of you to sell your shares. They lifted a clause on the requirements for insiders to hold shares. They lifted it and they made a window of 13 months, allowing everyone to sell every share they had. And they continue to sell 99.9% of all shares in that time frame. Now they say they're going to ride with you. We ride with you. They have no choice because the bylaws state that they have to hold X amount of shares. Well, guess what they're going to do? They're going to hold them until they retire and then they're going to sell. So why the hell would we even care about market manipulation when it's happening from within?
People are not looking at this situation with any semblance of logic. To the people who probably vehemently hate us right now, I think our argument is actually very close to those. We're just adding one more person onto the list that we think's taking advantage of retail, and they don't want to hear it because to them, he is symbolically representative of the APE movement and their financial investment. Look at his stock sales, look at him giving stock to his own son, and look at his buddies, Mudrick and Antera. They fared very well in this situation. HYMC, Highcroft, wherever that was, that fared very well. The only people I see really losing in this situation is the exact same subset of people who saved the company to begin with.